Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video on my channel, Hairliciously. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe so that you guys are updated on hair loss and hair transplant content, as well as updates on current hair loss treatments in the pipeline. If you guys are also losing hair, visit my website at hairliciously.com for hair loss treatment solutions backed by science. In today's video, I got some exciting news to share regarding Kintor Pharmaceuticals' topical non-steroidal anti-androgen pyrilutamide, also known as KX-826. As you guys know, I am a huge advocate for this compound because it's one of the strongest anti-androgens currently available, especially when we look at the binding affinity. It actually binds more strongly to the androgen receptor than DHT itself, and this means that it is going to be effectively able to outcompete DHT and even other anti-androgens like RU581, bicalutamide, flutamide, clascoterone, spironolactone. What also makes pyrilutamide stand out is that, unlike 5-alpha reductase inhibitors like finasteride or dutasteride, it's not going to alter your hormonal profile, so users typically are not going to experience any adverse sexual side effects or hormonal imbalances that can come with systemic DHT suppression. Personally, I've been using pyrilutamide on top of my oral dutasteride and minoxidil for well over a year now. I feel strongly that it has really helped maintain and stabilize from further administration. It's also what I consider to be one of the best nuclear stacks out there because dutasteride is going to lower your DHT levels, minoxidil is going to stimulate hair growth, and the pyrilutamide blocks the androgen receptors from the hair follicles from binding to androgens. So you're really, covering your bases through treatments that works in various mechanisms of action. And the important thing is that although 5-alpha reductase inhibitors like finasteride or dutasteride can block a good chunk of DHT, or the conversion of testosterone to DHT, you are still going to have remnants of androgens that are circulating in your scalp and your system, let alone a spike in testosterone levels, which is still androgenic in nature. So for somebody with, aggressive form of hair loss or extreme sensitivity to androgens, or somebody who no longer responds favorably to finasteride or dutasteride or other 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, throwing in an anti-androgen to target the androgen receptors from binding to androgens can really immensely help slow down the progression of hair loss. And, it's really going to give you that extra layer of protection that 5-AR inhibitors cannot offer. Just a few days ago, Kintor released results of their phase 2, phase 3 seamless trial in China. This pivotal trial looked at the efficacy and safety of pyrilutamide 0.5% versus 1% tincture applied twice a day for 24 weeks. Followed by a 1-month safety follow-up period. 90 male participants were included in this stage of the trial. So here's the breakdown. The 0.5% group saw an increase of 22.39 hairs per centimeter squared. The 1% group saw an average increase of 21.87 hairs per centimeter squared. And then finally, the placebo group gained only 8.73 hairs per centimeter squared. So as you can see, both treatment groups were significantly more effective than the placebo group. And interestingly enough, the 0.5% slightly outperformed the 1%, although the difference was pretty minimal. Both concentrations averaged over a 13 hair per centimeter squared gain compared to placebo, which is very encouraging and comparable to the 24-week data we see with oral finasteride at 24 weeks. What this tells us is that, pyrilutamide, even at a lower dosage, is very effective, and importantly, it is safe. But the study doesn't end there. Back in May of 2025, Kintor also conducted another study exploring pyrilutamide in combination with topical minoxidil. This was a 24-week observational study involving 75 subjects who were randomized into two groups. The first group was using the 0.5% pyrilutamide plus the 5% minoxidil, both applied twice daily. And then the other group just used 5% minoxidil. After 24 weeks of treatment, the group that was using both pyrilutamide and minoxidil showed an increase of 30.54 hairs per centimeter squared from baseline, while the group that only used minoxidil 5% twice a day had an increase of 20.25 hairs per centimeter squared. So the group that used minoxidil in conjunction with pyrilutamide, saw an increase of 10 hairs per centimeter squared over the group that just used minoxidil. And this obviously shows that there is a way better efficacy when pyrilutamide is used in conjunction with minoxidil, and also reinforces the fact that combination treatments had a synergistic effect in promoting better hair growth and maintenance. So, all in all, both studies showed that incorporating pyrilutamide has resulted in statistically significant results in terms of, hair regrowth, and also, that incorporating minoxidil into the treatment has resulted in better hair growth overall. This reinforces the fact that pyrilutamide as one of the strongest anti-androgens is efficacious for the treatment of androgenetic alopecia. And also, the fact that stacking different treatments that work in different mechanisms of action can really help aid in better regrowth and overall results. I would love to, see a longer study comparing both the 0.5% and 1.0%, because as we've seen with finasteride 1 milligram, there was an increase in the total area hair count at 52 weeks versus the 24-week period study. So I still think that there is a good possibility that the 1% may be more efficacious in the long term, given its higher dosage. But either way, whether it's the 0.5% or the 1% solution, we know that pyrilutamide is working and that the side effects are very minimal, given that it's not going to fluctuate or alter the hormonal profile. So, overall, I think this really reinforces the fact that pyrilutamide is a must if you guys are losing hair. And if you're serious about treating hair loss and looking for something powerful enough to potentially reverse it, this might be the answer. A low dose of, dutasteride, oral and topical minoxidil, microneedling, and then pairing it up with a powerful anti-androgen like pyrilutamide is more than likely to stop hair loss in its tracks for the majority of hair loss sufferers. But that wraps up this video, guys. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on pyrilutamide. If you have already started using it, let me know if it's been working out for you. You guys can also visit my website at hairliciously.com. We have some of the purest compounds for pyrilutamide in both 0.5% and 1% solution. So make sure to visit my website. And thanks for watching, guys. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Take care.